Tips and tricks. So I want to cover some basic Eclipse tips that should be useful for people who are new to Eclipse and especially new to Java programming in Eclipse, using Eclipse. The first thing I want to note is the help menu here. It's your friend. If you go under help to tips and tricks, you will get tips and tricks. So you can either click here or here uh, and hit OK. It'll open a browser window and with lists of hundreds of tricks. That's what I got learned about a lot of these. So you can do the same. Uh, there's also this key assist here, which will pop up on this list of all the commands and the keys. So these are all the commands that I have bound to particular keys, and you can see what those are. Mine are not the standard, because I have a different set of key bindings, but the set of commands is the same, of course. It's just the particular keys that I use might be a little bit different from what you have. And what you want to do is, over time, if you want to, you can customize all of these commands to suit your needs. And what you do with that is you go under Eclipse, Preferences, then here under General and Keys, and here again you see all the commands, and then the binding. The binding is the key that will call that command. So an easy way is just to search. You type up here, you can search, and it'll show you the various key commands and the binding. So copy is bound to Command C in Mac. Control C it will be in Windows. And here there's the when, which is in dialogues and windows. So some of these commands you can bind them to only work in certain windows or in certain cases. You can't see that. Here, let me see if I can put that in there. So it says down here, it says when in dialogues and windows. And you can change that. Basically, dialogues and windows means everything, pretty much everything. So in all areas. Sometimes you want only to work on specific areas, like in the text editor, in the task views, etc. Um, so this is how you do it. So you go here, and then if you click here and then type a key, then you type the key that you want to bind to the copy command, right? And if you want that, if you like that, you hit OK. Otherwise, cancel. I want to change that right now. So that's how you set your keys. So the main thing is you have to remember the command name. So one easy one that you should be using a lot is indentation. So you're typing around, your program is not well indented, and you want to indent it. There's under source here, there is the correct indentation, which is Command I. So if you type that Command I, it fixes it. If you have multiple lines, what you should be doing is Command A to select the whole buffer, Control A. So that's Edit, select all, select the whole buffer, and then Command I indents the whole buffer. So that is a very nice short thing. Keep your code always indented. So Control A, Control I, or Command A, Command I all the time. Content assist. So by far, this is the most useful command. Is the content assist command, right? So if we go Eclipse preferences, I'm just going to show you here on the keys. Oops, on the keys, the content assist command, which is assist, which is it can be bound here. I have it bound to Command K or Control Space. It's very useful, so you want to give it a nice binding. K is nice because it sits right under my index, on my middle finger, and it's a little bit easier than the space, but depends. So, how do you use content assist? Well, like you say here, you have a variable num of people. Your teacher will tell you that yes, you want to have long variable names because they're very descriptive, but they're kind of hard to type. Well, content assist to rescue. What you do is you type N and then content assist that. And that pops up this list. Number of people is right there. The first one, hit enter, boom, you got your variable. Right? Let's say you got several lists. You have number of people and number of aliens. It's 1,000. Then you can just again type and content assist, and it has both of them, so you can select which one you want, hit enter, and there it is. So that's one way to use content assist. Also, if you're typing an if-then statement, you can type if content assist me, and again, it gives you, do you want a full if with the curly brackets, or you want an if else. Yeah. So, oops. This is a nice way to write this. You can say, well, the number of aliens is bigger than the number of people, right? I'm just content assisting all the way. Then I can say, oh no. So you saw that I did that sys out. Again, works the same way. I can type sys out content, and then I do the content assist key, and boom, I get an expansion. Sys out is actually a template, and you can change those on Eclipse preferences. And in this case, you have to go under Java code, Java editor templates. This is where they are. So here you see sys out is right there. So sys out will add this in. I can edit that. I click the edit button. I can change. If I don't like sys out, I can put print in there. I can say print will generate that. I can a nice one is I can create my own new ones if I like it. I can duplicate the first one, etc. So those are the editor templates. I'll get to the common templates in a little bit. So there's sys out, there's the if one, there's while one. Again, just type in the number of the command and put in then the content assist letter. So content assist basically works when you need to add code, right? So put this over here. I have news scanner system in. And it's very similar to this that's happening here, the automatic IntelliSense. That happens automatically. Now the other one is the quick fix. So this happens like in this case. I have a scanner here with a red line. I want to quick fix it. The quick fix, there's a command and it's bound to control one by default, I believe. And if you type that, then you get this little pop-up, and that tells you, gives you options of how to fix it. In this case, I want to import scanner. That's how I want to fix it. I could also create a scanner class, etc. So I just hit that, and it happened. It's up there. So that's the quick fix, which is command one, command control one by default in Windows. And the quick fix is nice because you can, it doesn't have to be wrong. So usually it's for wrong things. But if I go over here on this variable and I type quick fix, it gives me the option. So do you want to rename that variable in the file or in the workspace? If I choose the file, then now I change that. So now I can change this variable, and you see it's changed over here, right? So this is very useful. When you have a variable that you're using a lot and you want to change its name. Total number of people. So I can do that. I can change it and so you can try it around. Like in this case, have that new scanner. I probably want to assign that to a variable, so I can go down here. Assign statement to a new local variable. Boom, says scanner scanner. I can change that to keyboard, and there you go. Right. So command one, that's good. Quick fix. Again, if you forget what key is, it's useful when you're learning. You can go to key assist, look for quick fix. P quick fix is now bound to command one. And content assist, I believe, is bound to Command K. Um, right there. So that's content assist and quick fix. The alt tab is also very nice. You can hit alt tab and go from here to here. Very useful when you have the console. Okay, the local history. Another thing, let's say you've been working on this file all day, and you worked on it in the morning, you got it to work, sort of. And then in the afternoon, you kept working in, and then you messed it all up. And now you wish you had the file that you had in the morning. It happens sometimes, right? Or you wish to see some of the stuff that you had in early this morning because you think that that was the thing. Well, Eclipse got you covered. So what you do is you click on the file name here in the Package Explorer. You right-click on that, and then you can't see this, but you have to go all the way to the what was it? The replace with. So choose replace with, and then local history dot dot dot. And if you do that, it'll pop this up. And what you see here is that every time I save this file today, it gives me the time. And so I can click on any one, I have to double click on it. And then it's hard to see in this little screen, but on a big screen this is better. You can see on here on the left is the workspace file as it is now. And on the right is the file as it was at 6:11 p.m. today. And you can see these things tell you what the differences are, etc. So I could go and replace. If I hit replace, it will bring this one and make that one the current one. Getting rid of this one, although it doesn't get rid of it, it just adds it to the revision history. So you can always go back there. You can go back to the future. And so there you go. So it's very nice. You don't lose anything. You can cancel that. I don't want to do that. So that is your local history. Very useful. What else? This is the template, the content assist, the to-do. You see it right here. If you type the word to-do in capital letters, I believe it's only capital letters, yes. If you type the word to-do in all capitals like that, you're going to get this little check mark here. And you see it also changes the color. That's words, in comments. So this is very nice because now you have this check mark here, and you can remove that later on once you're done with it. So it's a nice way of reminding you that I have to do this, especially as you work on larger programs. You can leave those around and remind yourself to do stuff. Also, you got this check mark here, but notice also on the right side, the blue mark marks where the to-do is on the whole file, right? So you notice how the check mark on the left moves as I scroll, but the stuff on the right does not move. Because these marks this is the whole file from the beginning to the end. So it doesn't. So I'll put a to-do here at the end. Whoops. I'll put it there. To-do. It will appear here towards the end of the file. There's some spaces here. Save that and move that. So you see how that works. So very nice. And this whole, this whole window that you can show a view that it's a task list that will show all these things. That's, when you're working on larger projects. The to-do, if you do this business of setting the keys, Eclipse preferences, general keys, and you set a bunch of these keys, and you want, you don't want to lose that because now you got all your customized keys. You want to move that to the machine at work or the machine at home, you can do that. You can just go File, Export, Preferences. This is under General, Preferences. Now you hit, let me move up here, you hit Next. And then you can select, which one you want to export. If you select keys preferences, then you can just type in the file name. I have this one already there. You can change the file name that you want to export to, and it'll save all your key bindings, right? So which key is mapped to which command. Um, that's very nice. And then similarly, you can then, after you do that, then you can just file import that file, and it'll read it. So you can save that to a file, put that in your Dropbox, and which will get synchronized to all your machines. And then when you're on the other machine, you can import your key preferences over there. What else? Okay, the template for new files. So when you create a new file, say for example, test new file, you see I just created this file, and here at the top I have this comment that has my name on it, my email, etc. How do you get it to do that? Well, you have to go Eclipse, Preferences, Java, and this is the one I showed you before. I got confused. Java, code style, code templates, right? And then there's the comments and files, and that's the one that I'm using for the top of the file. So this is the command, the one that is at the top of the file. This is the one that gets added at the top of a class, or also known as a type. When you add a field or data member, constructors, when you add a new method, this one gets added. Make sure this is checked. It's not checked by default. You make sure that automatically add comments for new methods and types is checked. Otherwise, they won't get added. Uh, and that's how you do that. You can also have more templates for your code here. You notice that this one, new Java files, has this stuff here. So what this is doing is says when I create a new Java file, I'm gonna first insert file comment. This actually refers to file comment. If you forget where it is, you can just hit here, then click. Let me just, so you can see that. Click the edit button, and then when you go click insert. Oops. When you click insert variable here, it tells you what the various variables are, and it describes them. So file comment, the content of code template, comments files. Um, so that's how you can find out which ones there are. It's kind of hard to find out. So that's comments files. So it's the content of this template. So, so you can modify these, but you can go through here and change this one by hitting the edit button, changing it to be whatever you want. And then we'll get, and as long as you got this checked, they will get added. So remember Java, code style, code templates, Java editor templates are the in-code template, it says out stuff. And these other templates are the comment template. Anything else? Last thing is customize perspective. You can customize, of course, in the set of buttons and the set of menu items that you see in Eclipse. If you go over here, somewhere here where there's no button, right click, you can customize perspective, and you can choose, you can choose which things appear on the toolbar, right under this tab. This is the toolbar here, these buttons. Or you can choose which things appear on your menu. That's the top row. And you can also choose which set of commands are available. Now, one thing to note is that, if you want, say, a git button or debug buttons in your menu or in your toolbar, you have to set these things, otherwise they're not going to work, right? So, if you click it over here in the toolbar visibility and you're still not seeing it, it's probably because you have to click it over here and make it visible. And there's also some shortcuts. I'm going to that. So that's it.